Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A year ago, when Dostoevsky became an issue, teaching Dostoevsky became an issue in Italian universities, performance by the greatest living soprano of the world was forbidden because she's Russian. I thought, welcome aboard. Russophobia is only the last of many phobias, purposely built for new formulas of colonization. Its modern manifesto can be considered the will by which Cecil Rhodes, the founder of Rhodesia, established the supremacy of the Anglo-Saxons and their right to rule the world and exploit its resources. I come from Sicily, a small multicultural island in the middle of the Mediterranean, the center of ancient civilizations, which left a rich and very lively heritage. Yet, for the last 70 years, Sicily has only been known for a criminal gang, the mafia, brought by the USA when the Americans landed in Sicily to liberate Europe from Nazis. It was the first ISIS. It was an invention which started then, a criminal group which would occupy a land and destroy it from within for the purpose of a distant power. So, even since the movie industry of Hollywood built an entire image of my country, which was meant to legitimate its occupation, with huge military bases lined against the Russians. Today, just like after the war, it's from Sicily that the drones are sent all the way to Russia today. So, as a matter of fact, I'm not here only as a Sicilian intellectual and the representative of one of the families that ruled this island for centuries, but I'm also a scholar of Arabic and Islamic studies, the president of one of Europe's historical institutions, which have tried to fight Arabophobia and Islamophobia. These phobias, my dear friends, apparently started much earlier, exactly at the moment of the occupation of Palestine, when it was the Arabs, and only the Arabs, who had to pay for the European eugenetic project launched by Cecil Rhodes. So the epitome of Arabophobia was 9/11. After 9/11, you could not even read an Arabic text on an airplane or on a train without being looked at as if you were a terrorist. Arabophobia and Islamophobia were created to justify the destruction and occupation of countries such as Iran, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Algeria, Nigeria, Mali, Yemen, etc., etc., etc. It could seem that this onslaught on the Arabic Islamic world was essentially aimed at illegally acquiring their economic or strategic assets. But this wasn't only one of the reasons, and maybe even a secondary. Al-Qaeda and the jihadist movements were in fact fabricated by the West and supported by the markets. In order to attack and disrupt the Russian Federation, the ex-Soviet Islamic republics, and the multipolar system that resisted since the times of the Tsar, thanks to the great Sufi sheikhs of the Qadiriyya, the Naqshbandiyya, and the other Sufi tariqa, who were strongly opposed to fighting for a so-called Islamic state, which has nothing to do with the spirit, but only with politics. So, this very brief resume of what happened shows that Russophobia is in fact a post-production. It's the post-production, we can talk it in movie terms. It's the post-production of a long-term project. The project was behind and it's being carried out ever since. And now it's being justified by us. So, what is the solution? We are here, in fact, to fight Russophobia, but we are here to fight what Russophobia is covering. Because Russophobia, as we see, is only the result, the legitimate, let's say, the legitimate step that the West is putting on its ambitions to destroy Russia for, as we've said, the same reasons as it's destroyed these Arab countries, not only for their wealth and for their heritage, but also and especially for their capacity to stick to a tradition. So, what is our aim now? Our aim is to focus on those issues that the West is using in order to manipulate the media and public conscience so as to obtain the results that building hatreds aims at. One of the major instruments, and this is one of the fields where I've worked for many years, one of the major instruments that has always been used in these fights are women. The women's liberation is very selective, as you have noticed. When a Palestinian woman or a child or a little girl is killed, and there are many who are killed every day, even journalists with American Palestinian nationalities, and nobody moves, nobody says a thing. When Daria Dugina, who is a philosopher, a writer, an intellectual, who represents the best that Europe can produce in the sense of expressing the mixture of civilizations, the passing from Greek history and philosophy to the Russian Empire, this transit of knowledge from east to west. When these women are killed, nothing happens. Nobody fights for these women. Nobody in the West goes in the roads or in the streets to complain. But when a poor Iranian girl has a heart attack, accidentally, as we know, there was no murder of this young lady in Iran, then the entire West goes in the streets and tries to disrupt the regime. Women are the instrument used, the most important, the first and major force used to disrupt our traditional practice. And We know that the foreign ministry of Germany didn't want to quote the name because she really is a bad example. There is a whole series of ladies in Europe that we would not consider representative of our gender. But this lady, who is so disliked that when she arrived in India, I was there, when she arrived in India for the G20, was not met at the airport by anybody, but just the German ambassador. She has just established a fund, a huge fund, with a lot of money to create an institution to liberate women all around the world. So entitled to go and interfere in internal politics of our countries who are said to be somehow non-empowering women or giving them a traditional role. So we have this, we should focus, as far as the media, on these heroes who represent our traditions, who represent the best of our worlds, the same way as the West has built an icon of Lady Diana, who represents elegance, or whatever you want to say, beautiful clothes, fashion, etc. But these are the Western ideals. We have our heroes. We must enforce the image of these women, because they are the image of what can fight Russophobia. Russophobia, Arabophobia, Islamophobia. Through my books, this is what I've done to fight Arabophobia, Islamophobia, showing how extraordinary women have gone all through the history of the Islamic world and even today. Not only famous women, but also unknown women. You don't have to be famous in order to be a great woman. You don't have to be famous in order to be a great man. But women are going to be the great asset. And we have to give them the strength to defend their position. Not every woman is a hero, like Vittoria Alliata. But every woman can give a little bit of her love to build a better world. Thank you very much.